Those were the top headlines that we are tracking for you at this hour. And let's get to the top story today. Indian LPG carrier Nanda Devi, carrying about 46,500 metric tons of liquefied petroleum gas, has reached the Vadinar port in Gujarat. Earlier, Chief Officer of Nanda Devi vessel said that the initiative was taken by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Shipping Corporation of India, with the Indian and Iranian navies providing the necessary assistance to cross the Strait of Hormuz, critical naval choke point disrupted by the war in West Asia. Nanda Devi is the second LPG carrier to have arrived in India successfully passing through the Strait of Hormuz. On Monday, Indian LPG carrier Shivalik, carrying about 40,000 metric tons of LPG, reached the Mundra port in Gujarat. There are now 22 Indian-flagged vessels remaining in the Persian Gulf, carrying a total of 611 seafarers. The Indian-flagged vessel Jagladki, with sails from the UAE carrying about 81,000 tons of Murban crude oil, is also safely en route India. Now, for more on this, we are being joined live by WION's Assistant Editor of Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibal. Hi, Siddhant, take us through the latest details that you're picking up as far as Nanda Devi's arrival in India is concerned.
Well, Nanda Devi is the second vessel to arrive on Indian shores while transiting from the Strait of Hormuz after Shivalik. Now, we know that the Indian side was in conversation with the Iranian side for that, and expect more ships, vessels to reach Indian shores, even as India has been taking measures, including when it comes to its exports. Now, we know that the Indian government sources told WION that they expect that exports could face challenging month this March because of the ongoing war in West Asia, and Indian government could announce relief measures. Meanwhile, the Indian Navy is playing an important role in escorting all the vessels, whether it's Nanda Devi, whether it is Shivalik, in terms of their safety after they cross the Strait of Hormuz, and they are given the escort in the Arabian Sea. But essentially, we know that for India, the big worry remains over the cascading impact of this war in terms of the energy prices, in terms of the supply of LNG. In fact, the Indian government has been doing daily press conferences over the developments. There is another press conference that is slated today at 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and we'll get to know more details, whether it's on the shipping, whether it's about the Indian diaspora, or whether it's about how India is using its diplomatic channels to have conversations both with the Iranians and the rest of the world, including the Arab world.
Right. Siddhant, any indication yet on how these two tankers are in India, Shivalik and Nanda Devi, how this could probably ease the supply disruptions that at least industrial players in India are facing right now?
Well, when it comes to the supplies, they of course will be playing an important role in terms of the supplies they have brought in terms of the LNG, and that is something that has been a cause of concern. The Indian government has been taking measures against black marketing, against hoarding, and also essentially making sure that the commercial supplies are diverted to household supplies, even though they are assuring the commercial industry that they don't have to worry about. But of course, challenges remain for sure. But how India was able to do this is something that perhaps we'll get to know more as days progress. But clearly, Indian side was engaged with the Iranian side, and the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke 4 times with the Iranian Foreign Minister. The Indian Prime Minister spoke with the Iranian President, and clearly the long-standing relationship is something that continues, and that of course has helped in many ways getting those exceptions for Indian ships to transit the Strait of Hormuz.
All right, thank you, Siddhant, for all of those details. So that's the latest word coming in. Nanda Devi, the second vessel, has arrived in India in Gujarat. This is the second vessel to have arrived in India, passing through that vital Strait of Hormuz. That's the latest that we are getting in.